Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So we're going to wait for a while for the others to join and then we'll start. Okay, this is the last session for this week. We are going to solve part of the exercises related to the reading lesson to finalize the lecture, okay?
Teacher, when will you open the listening quiz?
When you finish your quizzes, and not today, maybe by tomorrow. You have quizzes today, right?
Yes, we have Arabic quiz and math quiz.
Yeah. I don't want to overload you. Okay. So let's make a quick revision to the whole lecture, waiting for the others. First of all, we have said that our theme is about famous scientists and also about scientific discoveries. We talked about Stephen Hawking, who was a very famous scientist, and he suffered from a certain disability, a certain disease. We also introduced to a new genre. Who can explain to us what is a biography?
It is a text that talks about someone's life.
Yes, talks about someone's life. Yes, Huda, you raised your hand. What are some features or the most important feature or element of a biography?
There are the big moments or events,
Yes.
the theme, messages, and the facts and information about them.
Yes, exactly. Okay, very good. So we talked about the chronological order, which is one of the most important features of a biography. We said that a biography is based on a chronological order or on a time order since it narrates the events of a person's life. Okay? Type. Let's now, we also solved an exercise related to chronological order. Guys, look, I just need to fix something in internet. Just a second. Let's continue, Miss. We also discussed this very important question about the abilities of disabled people in being an inspiration to the whole world. Okay. Let's now move to the text. Okay. Who can briefly summarize what are the most important events that took place in the story? Hello? Guys, I will unmute you. I will allow you to unmute yourselves. Okay? And I want you to tell me what are the most important events that happened with Stephen Hawking? يعني the turning points in his life.
That when everyone thought that he was gonna die because of his but because he was diagnosed.
Very good. So the first turning point is that when he discovered that he is sick or he is ill, يعني he has the motor neuron disease, and everyone thought that he has maximum 2 years to live, and he lived till 76 years. Okay, this is the first turning point. What else very important events happened with him? Related to what? Discoveries, any other thing? Who can remind us?
There's in 1970 when he applied about the black holes.
Yes, in 1974, very good, when he drew the quantum theory, excellent. And he declared that black holes should emit heat and pop out of existence, and they emit also light. Okay, so this also was a very important point in his life. There's also...
and we should live on other planets.
Yes, very good. This is one of his theories, one of his ideas, that people should look for another planets, excellent, to live on, because he thinks that Earth is not the final destination of humanity. He thinks that people are going to live in other places and on other planets, and they have to look for other planets to live on. Yesterday, did we finish the text or not? We'd finished, I guess, yes?
Yes.
Finished it.
Yes, but I am going to repeat from paragraph 8 just to refresh, okay? Because I need you to refresh your minds to remember what we were talking about yesterday, to continue with the exercises, okay? So I'm going to repeat from paragraph 8 only.
But can I read?
يلا يا رحاب.
8.
Yes.
In 1974, Hawking drew on quantum
Theory.
to declare that black holes should emit heat and eventually pop out of existence.
Yes. So this what happened in 1974 when he drew quantum theory to declare or to show that the black holes emit heat and eventually pop to existence. Okay, continue please, Rihab.
But it was a brief history of time that rocked Hawking to stardom, published for the first time in 1988. The title made the Guinness Book of Records after
Guinness Book. It's not. It's Guinness. You know what is Guinness Book? Does anybody know what is Guinness Books? A book of records?
Yes.
What is it? Who can explain to the others?
Like who like the biggest sandwich in the world, they put it in the Guinness Book.
Yes,
for the fastest runner.
The achievements that happened around the world, which are extraordinary achievements, they add them to this book of records. So who can explain to us what is a brief history of time?
It's a book.
Very good. It's a book. What do they mean, or what do the author means when he said that this book rocketed Hawking to stardom? What does that mean?
He pushed him fast to start.
Miss, one by one, please.
He pushed him fast to become a star.
Yes, so it was the way he became a star and very quickly, okay? Because this book was a very famous book. It was published in 1988. Continue, Miss Rihab. Rihab.
Miss, can I continue?
Continue.
But it was a brief history of time that rocketed Hawking to stardom. Published for the first time in 1988, the title made the Guinness Book of
Guinness Book.
Guinness Book of Records after it stayed on the Sunday Times bestsellers list for an
Unprecedented
237 weeks. It sold 10 million copies and was translated into 40 different languages.
Okay, so this book was published in 1988. It was in the Guinness Records because it stayed on the Sunday Times bestsellers for 237 weeks and it sold 10 million copies. So it's one of the books which were the most sold books around the world, and it was translated into 40 different languages. So this is an evidence that this book is a very important book. This book is a very interesting book. It really motivates the people to read such a book when they just know that this book was translated into 40 different languages, and this book sold more than 10 million copies, and it was the best sellers for 237 weeks. So this alone is just a push for us to look for this book and read it, because it really shows how important this book is. Okay? Thank you, Zahra. Yalla ya Razan, may you please read paragraph 9?
Yes. In 1985, during a trip to CERN, Hawking was taken to hospital with an infection. He was so ill, but the operation saved his life but destroyed his voice.
Okay, so this is what happened with him in 1985 when he was during a trip. He was taken to a hospital because of an infection. They saved his life, but he lost his voice. They destroyed his voice. So if you watch his videos, you can see that this person talks using a machine. Even his voice is a machine voice, not his own voice. And you can tell that this is a machine voice. Continue, Razan, please.
Yes. Hawking has argued that for humanity to survive, it must spread out into space, and has warned against the worst applications of artificial intelligence, including autonomous weapons. He spoke also of death, and eventuality that sat on a more distant horizon than doctors thought. "I'm not afraid of death, but I'm in no hurry to die," he said. "I have so much I want to do first."
Okay, so this person, as we said, thought that people should be curious. They should look for new spaces to live. They should search in space, find new planets. Just be curious, look for something new. He was encouraging people to do that. And he thinks that, as I said, Earth is not the final destination of human beings. So the human beings should look in space and should spread out into space to survive. He thinks that if people stayed on Earth forever, the Earth would be destroyed. So they have to look to somewhere else to live. And as we said, he is not afraid of death. he is not in a hurry for death because he thinks that there are many things that he wants to achieve, many things that he wants to do. That's why he wasn't in a hurry to die. He wanted to achieve more things and to invent and discover more things in science. That's why he didn't want to die quickly. Paragraph 11, the last paragraph. Hassan Jade, read please.
Yes, miss. What astounded those around him was how much he did achieve. He left his 3 children from his first marriage to Jane Wilde and 3 grandchildren.
Okay. What do you mean by astounded? Who can remind us?
Shocked.
Shocked or amazed. So what amazed people around him, or what shocked people around him, is how much he did achieve, the achievements that he did. For a person who is suffering from his disability, maybe nobody can do what he did, okay? So he left 3 children from his first marriage to Jane Wilde and 3 grandchildren. Okay. Let me ask you another time. Do you think that Jane is his only wife or the only marriage?
No.
No, he had
How can you tell?
Because
They said in his first marriage.
married.
Okay. Let's now move to the first exercise. The sentences below misinterpret some information in the above text. Rewrite them correctly so they agree with the meaning stated or implied by the writer. From now on, we're not going to answer by true or false and correct the false statements, or these statements are false, correct them. Okay, from now on, we are going to follow a new strategy in question, a new form in question. So this question, the true false question, is going to be to ask this way. They misinterpret, it means they do not agree with the information in the above text, so we have to write them in the correct way to agree with what the writer means. So Lord Rees, the astronomer, admired Hawking, who worked for more than 50 years. If we go to paragraph 4, when Lord Rees talked about Stephen Hawking, who can tell me how or how much was the period that they worked together, or they praised, or Lord Rees praised Hawking's?
Half century of work.
Type. What is a century? Who can explain?
100 years.
It's 100 years.
Very
Yes.
good. It's 100
They
years.
have.
Type. Half century.
50 years.
50 years.
50 years. So did they say that he admired or he praised him for over than 50 years in the paragraph?
No.
No, they
No.
said he praised Hawking's half century. Half century means 50 years. So this is very confusing because some students will think like over than 50 years, so it's the same. No, they were very specific. They said 50 years or half century. They didn't say over 50 years. So that's why this is wrong. Okay. The second sentence talk about his marriage. If it was his first marriage from the woman, from Jane, and we said no, it wasn't his first marriage. We have repeated this more than one time because they said from his first marriage. So Jane was his first wife, but of course maybe he had another wife because they said from his first marriage. So this shows that Stephen Hawking got married more than one time. Okay?
Yeah.
Is everything clear till now?
Yes.
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 Okay, great. So let's move to the last exercise. In this exercise, you have to use the contextual clues to figure out the meanings of the words in the box, these 5 words, then fill in the blanks with the correct word to complete the following sentences. So you have to find the meanings of the words and then fill in the blanks. Let's go to the text, try to guess the meanings of the words, and then we solve the exercise. Okay? Let's go to paragraph 3, to unbounded. Let's read the sentence together. For fellow scientists and loved ones, it was Hawking's intuition and wicked sense of humor that marked him out as much as the fierce intellect that, coupled with his illness, came to symbolize the unbounded possibilities of the human mind. What do you mean by unbounded?
Without limits.
Very good. Something that has no limits, limitless. So bounded means limited. Boundaries is the limit, and unbounded, un means opposite, means not. So unbounded means do not have limits. So unbounded possibilities of the human mind. The word terminal in paragraph 6. For Hawking, the early diagnosis of his terminal disease and witnessing the death from leukemia of a boy he knew in the hospital ignited a fresh sense of purpose. What do you mean by terminal?
It doesn't have a cure.
Maybe. It's chronic. What else? It's chronic, it's deadly, it's a dangerous disease. It's the maximum what a person can reach, maybe. Okay? Guys?
Yes.
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 Okay. Paragraph 7. The word absolute. Hawking, Penrose said, had an absolute determination not to let anything get in his way. What do we mean by absolute?
Maximum.
The maximum determination. Very good. Maximum determination, something that you cannot stop. You cannot even stop. Okay? The last word, though we still have 2 words, artificial. Hawking has argued that for humanity to the universe, it must spread out in space, and has warned against the worst applications of the artificial intelligence. What do you mean by artificial?
Technology.
It is made by man-made.
Man-made, okay, but what word can we use to describe artificial?
Unreal.
Unreal, fake. Very good. Unreal or fake. Artificial intelligence, including autonomous weapons. He spoke also of death and eventuality that sat on a more distant horizon. What do you mean by distant?
Far.
Very good, very far away. Horizon that doctors thought. Okay?
Yes.
So now let's go to the exercise. Now we know the meanings of the words. Let's take 2 minutes, please, to fill in the blanks. Yeah. Before we read them together. Done?
Yes.
Yes.
Ali Basma is not here today. Why? Hassan Saleh. Many students aren't attending. Wallah. Yeah, they don't need much time, right? You're supposed to be done with them. Yeah, number one. Guys, you can unmute yourselves. I allowed you to unmute yourselves. Hello? Miss, are you done? Hello? Guys?
Yes.
You're still here? Sorry, I lost electricity.
Yeah.
Okay. The electricity went off. Okay, are you done? You're supposed to be done. It doesn't need much time. Yeah.
Yes.
Let's start.
Yes.
يلا يا
Can I answer?
علي خليفة. Ali Khalifa, number one, please. طيب, we'll move to Taline. Taline. Taline, are you here with us? لين شباني. لين.
Yes.
يلا يا لين.
Yes, miss.
Number one, please.
Okay. Organic products contain no
Preservatives or colorings. Which word is suitable to continue this sentence?
Artificial.
Very good. Artificial. Excellent. Yeah. Number two, Huda, you're raising your hand. Yalla, go ahead.
I have absolute confidence in my
Very good.
dear
Absolute
parents.
confidence in my dear parents. يعني we mean by that the maximum confidence in my dear parents. Okay. طيب, number three. Let me check who haven't shared yet. Laris.
Yes.
يلا يا Laris.
He is very strong and his angry is.
Energy.
Oh, sorry.
Energy is
Abounded.
unbounded. Very good. There is no limit to his energy and his strength. Excellent. The last one, Leia. Leia. لكن صار عنا علي خليفة. Leia and Taline. Calling them with no answer. Yes, Lin Khalifa. Number four, please.
The car has reached its terminal speed and can run faster no longer.
Very good. So it's maximum speed, okay? So there is still one oral exercise that we are going to do it together since we still have time, which is very important exercise. Let me check, Bus. We have two pronouns in the text that we need to refer them to their antecedents, okay? In paragraph 8, it was a brief history book. And those around him was how much he did achieve. Okay, yalla, take 1 minute. They are on the same page. I displayed it in front of you so you can see the whole sentence. I want you to tell me, what does it refer to and what does those refer to? Yes, Zahra, you raised your hand.
Yes.
What?
Do I answer?
Wait, give them a chance.
Miss, I have a question.
Yes, Lian.
In paragraph 11, they said
Yes.
what astounded those around him was. Shouldn't
Yes.
it be where?
No. Was how much he did. Yani was is for how much he did.
I thought it was for the people around him.
Leia Gharayeb, you can hear me very well. You heard that I called you more than one time and you didn't answer. هلا صار that you can't hear me very well. Unmute yourself, miss. Unmute yourself. This is unacceptable. It's not the first time I call you and Talin and you don't answer. I have to talk to the supervisors today. This is unacceptable. Oh, good. Talin left أصلا.
Miss,
She left. Yes, Fatima.
Miss, I have bad internet connection.
Yes.
Sometimes it don't allow me to unmute myself.
Okay. This is not my point, Fatima. The point is that this is being repeated every live session. Okay, so Fatima, you share with us. Whenever I call you, you try to share. You even sometimes raise your hand to share. This shows that you are interested with what you're doing. Other students, I'm calling them more than one time in every live sessions and no answer. No answer. They even left, Yana. Even Leia left. Good. Yeah. Let's do this, please. It was a brief history of time that rocketed Hawking to stardom. Yeah. Yes, Razan?
The book, it refers to the book.
Very good, very good. It refers to the book. The last one, those. Yes, Huda?
Yes, what astounded those around him, those refers to the people around him.
Very good. To the people around him, to his fellow scientists, to his family members, to the people who knew him, who knew Stephen Hawking. Okay?
Yes.
Did you start
Okay.
your speaking assessment?
Yes.
Is there any problem? If you need anything about speaking, you can text me, okay? Ask any question, how to do it, the way, you can ask me.
Miss, till when is the degree?
Deadline?
Yes.
Next Wednesday.
Okay.
Okay?
And the famous, the
Huda, أنت
scientist.
with us in the group?
Yes, but last time I did not have good internet connections for days.
Okay.
That's why I did not do that.
It's
So
okay.
I'm sorry.
So you have till next Wednesday at 12 a.m. Okay, you have to choose any famous scientist you want, any famous scientist, briefly, and in 2 to 3 minutes, talk about the most important events that happened in his life.
Okay, miss.
Okay, his achievements, his childhood, if he got any awards, if he died or is still alive. That's it. You can use a cardboard, and you can present the information on a cardboard and let anybody shoot you, take the video for you, or you can prepare it on a PowerPoint and also let anyone record the video, or you can just hold the paper, writing on it the most important ideas, not all the presentation, and you are not allowed to hold the paper and start reading, okay?
Okay.
Teacher,
Yes.
my presentation is so big and I'm not even done with it.
You have time. Summarize as much as you can, not more than 3 minutes. No way. Okay?
Miss, I made a PowerPoint and it has 11 slides.
So every slide, every slide should take 1 minute, ya Razan. If you are
Okay.
writing, if you are copying paragraphs in the slide, this doesn't work. You have to look for sentences. Miss, there are on Google, there are very short biographies. Very short biographies. I have some, okay? There are very short biographies about many scientists. You will find them. Matfu to all. When you write in Google, for example, Einstein, go to images. In the images, you will find very short biographies. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Let me see, but if I can share this with you. We still have 1 minute, but I'm gonna check if I can share this with you. Okay, just a second. Can you see my screen? What can you see now?
The text.
Yes.
Stop share. I'm gonna share something new, okay?
Okay.
What can you see now?
Google.
Google.
Type. Can you see what I'm writing?
Yes.
Yes.
طيب. Biography. Go to images. Okay, no need to go to all. In all, you will always find very huge paragraphs. Go to images, okay? Look what you find in images. For example, this thing. See? This is a paragraph. It sums up all the events that took place in his life. And no need to look, this is another biography. See? No need to look for all. Look, if we go to all,